Hey everyone, welcome back to CP Whiskey Creek and N-Scale. I'm Chris, and in this video, I'm going to share some safety tips with you for buying and selling through Facebook Marketplace. Facebook is a really great place for us to be able to enjoy the hobby. There's lots of groups and pages that we can share online, and it's also a really great place to be able to buy and sell, especially if you want to avoid things like eBay fees. Of course, the downside is there's always someone out there that's looking to take advantage of us and our good nature, especially within the hobby. So I'm going to share some tips that I have for you about how to keep yourself safe and things to watch out for. Now, this is primarily going to be focused on model trains, but a lot of these tips can probably be used anywhere else, any other type of hobby, anything else that you're pretty well buying through Facebook Marketplace. So yeah, let's sit right back and have a look at some ads and have a look at some things to look for. The only disclaimer I'm going to give is just because you see something that might be something that I've identified as like a red flag doesn't mean that the person is a horrible person and they're trying to scam you or anything like that. It's just, these are some tips to look for that, especially for myself, if I see one of these things in an ad, I'm going to think twice before I proceed with making that purchase. It might make me look at a few other things just to make sure that I'm making a safe purchase and my money's actually going to the right person and I'm actually going to receive the product, because I hear a lot of horror stories from people that they're putting money out there and not getting any product or getting something that they actually expected. So imagine yourself sitting back, you find yourself an ad online, and let's have a look at some things to look out for.
One of the first things that I look for is a location. I'm kind of cheap, so I'm always looking for a local buy, and if I can save on shipping, that's a huge plus for me. But if there's no location listed, then that's also kind of concerning to me too. Having a good look at the pictures, sometimes you'll find that the scammers are taking photos from other ads from Facebook or eBay or places like that and reposting them as their own. So legit sellers are trying to combat this by posting pictures with their name and the date on a piece of paper beside the ad. I also look for oddities that don't really seem to belong. So if it's a male that's posting the ad, but then there's pictures of a female holding the model, that seems a little concerning to me. Have a good look at the text and the language used. Do the sentences seem to be incomplete, or they're using broken English? One big thing to look for is if they turn off the comments or push you to a private message for details and don't answer questions in the comments. I'm personally thankful that we're done with Taylor Swift in Toronto, because every buy and sell page that I seemed to be on was swamped by scammers offering up tickets, and of course, PM for tickets and the comments are turned off. Next up, I like to have a look at the seller. I like seeing things like highly rated seller. That's a good sign that they already are considered a trusted seller by other people. And you can have a look for things like, when did they join Facebook? Or do you have any groups in common? On the other hand, you may find that the seller just joined a group or even just created their Facebook account. You may be able to view their profile if they haven't locked it down. And when looking through there, do you find any other indications of similar interests, whether it be pictures or videos, or they've gone to other rail fanning events or anything along those lines? Or even take a few moments and creep their friends list. Do you have any mutual friends? Or even friends that show any indications that they're into models and trains? As I mentioned before, if they won't even discuss payment terms or shipping over public comments and only use private messaging, that is very odd. This one seller, I had made a comment on their post about shipping, and they would only communicate with me and respond through private messaging. As for payment terms, e-transfers can be a little bit risky, as you have to go through your bank for help if it turns out to be a fraudulent transaction. On the other hand, PayPal does have some protections in place, but only if you go with goods and services. The downside is they take a few percent cut but that's also your insurance and peace of mind. If someone is pushing for friends and family and you don't even know them, that's a huge red flag because there's no recourse for you. If you're lucky enough that the other party is local to you, then you can save on the shipping and find a mutual time to meet up. If it's your first time buying and selling with this person, I wouldn't recommend having them come over to your house, at least right away. You definitely want to aim for a public, well-lit place, especially if you're dealing with a large sum of money. One option is a lot of police stations across North America now have a buy and sell trade spots. And that's a good indicator that if that person's not interested in meeting at a police station to do the transaction, that might be a good red flag for you. And my last tip is to trust your gut. If something is too good to be true, then it probably is. As a modeler, you probably have an idea of the value of items, whether they be new or old. Knowing a new DCC locomotive sells for around $300 Canadian. Used ones, you tend to see them around $140, depending if they have sound or not. So $40 seems like a steal. I get it, we all want to save some money, but you have to ask yourself, if I were the seller, how much would I sell this item for? So if they're asking well below what you perceive its value, then you really need to wonder why. Sometimes a little patience goes a long way, as you'll soon see comments pop up about others pointing out the stolen pictures or other scam indicators.
Well, there you have it, folks. I hope you found that list somewhat useful. And if you have any other ones that maybe other little red flags that you use when you're buying and selling online, feel free to throw those in the comments below. I mean, this is a community that is important to share with each other. So maybe if I missed one, throw it in there so someone else might be able to see it and at least keep that in the back of their mind as well. Facebook Marketplace is a great place for buying and selling, but again, it also attracts those people who are looking to take advantage of, our good nature. So hopefully this will keep you or someone you know safe out there. Thanks for watching.